Today we're going to be comparing the Garmin Fenix 7 versus the Fenix 8. What I wish I knew before I upgraded, and I actually prefer the 7 over the 8, and I'm going to explain why in this video. So starting off with what I like about the 8 is obviously the brand new Amoled display looks a lot better. That's probably the first thing you notice, is that the screen is much more vibrant and the colors are prettier on the 8, which is to my left right here. We can even take a look at the difference in the weather app on these two devices, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. It also features a new interface, which is a little bit more intuitive than the 7. For example, if we go to our activities here, we can now pin activities to the top on the Fenix 8, which is a really nice touch, and I've really liked that about the new watch. But that about ends where I really think the Fenix 8 has an advantage over the 7. The first thing that I don't like about the new AMOLED display is that the battery life on it just isn't as good, and that is with the always on display turned off. So right now it times out after, you can set it for up to 15 seconds. The screen will essentially turn off on the 8, and that is going to preserve your battery life. But even with the always on turned off, the 7 still gets way better battery life, and the screen is always on with this. So I can glance down at my watch when I'm working and still see data at a glance. I can see the time, which is really, really nice. I also like that the 7 has the solar functionality here, so I can get extra solar intensity and the battery will last even longer. There is an MIP solar version of the Fenix 8, so honestly, that might be the best of both worlds, but they do not make the solar version on the smaller display version of the Fenix. So if you have a small wrist like I do, you can't get this size watch with the solar version. Your only option is to go for the AMOLED display. So I was bummed they didn't make a solar version for the 7S, and I'm basically out of luck. The second thing that I actually like a lot better about the 7 is the buttons. So the buttons on here are more mechanical and more clicky, so it's really nice when you are starting and stopping a run and you're exhausted. The buttons have really good tactical feedback. On the 8, the buttons, that you can actually press them in sometimes and it doesn't register. So you can see right there, I'm pressing it in just a little bit and it's not doing anything. You really have to get a good press, and it vibrates to give you feedback that it works. So the first day I was using this, I started a run and it didn't actually start the run. So I looked down at my watch because I didn't feel it vibrate, and I clicked the button, but it didn't actually work. So the buttons are definitely superior in the older models, and that is another reason why I like the 7. Now, another area they try to upgrade with the 8 is the voice control. So you can see we've got a little speaker microphone situation going on here, so you can do voice commands with this, but honestly I find that pretty gimmicky. So you could basically go to the voice assistant, which is down here, voice command, and you could create a shortcut to the voice command as well, and you can say open up a run or another command that's similar. And you can see it just takes time to load. It's probably not even registering right now, but I could just go into the menu and click on a run way faster than I can use the voice command. You can also control Siri, which I find doesn't work all that well with this. And you can do voice notes, which is a nice thing that this allows you to do, but honestly, that's not that important to me. If you're someone that uses voice notes a lot, maybe this is more worth it for you, but that's not a feature that I'm all that excited about. This also has some additional diving functionality on the Fenix 8, but again, that's something that probably most people aren't going to use. So overall, I think if you're thinking about upgrading from a 7 to an 8, it might not be worth it depending on which features you value. But if you're on an older version of a Garmin watch, maybe it's worth the upgrade. This is still a very good smartwatch, and it does look a lot nicer with the AMOLED display. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.